using the pen action within PowerAutomate is actually not that difficult. And if you're using a tablet, better than a mouse, you might be able to get better drawings, but you can add different colors and all types of things to your drawings. And then when you hit save, that information will be stored off into a SharePoint site. And here we're just going to go ahead and see where that went. We'll click there, and now there you go. There's the file that we just drew on. So this is helpful if you're taking notes using a tablet, for example, or a pen, and you like to write. And so stay tuned. We're going to jump through this relatively straightforward, once you got all the tricks to the trade, action to make this actually work in your environment. So stay tuned. We're going to jump right to it. So the first place that we really want to start is inside of SharePoint itself, and you want to create a directory. So we're going to need some sort of directory structures. You see I've got one here, and I'm using PNG formatted files. You can use JPEGs if you want. The second thing we need to do is create this PowerApp file, this PowerAutomate file right here. This one's called Draw to OneDrive, Save Pen Drawing to OneDrive. Now, it's actually mislabeled because I'm actually sharing and saving that file to OneDrive and to SharePoint. So I'm going to walk you through that right now. So, and then of course we're going to create the PowerApp, and I've got all these instructions written down here so you can pause and follow them. But then we'll build the PowerApp and tell it where to go and how to save. So let's jump back here to the PowerAutomate first of all. So to create the PowerAutomate, what we want to do is create an instant cloud flow right there. And then do you see right there where it says PowerApps? Once you click on PowerApps and you give it a name, what's going to happen is it's going to come up looking just like this. It'll just say PowerApps. There's nothing you can do there, so don't worry about it. Second thing you want to do is add a create file. Now, if you want to go to SharePoint and OneDrive, you can do it. I've just kind of done it here for this example. You could do one or the other, but I'm showing you both just so it's easy. And really what you want to type in is create a file, right? And notice here it says OneDrive or create a file for SharePoint. So you pick whichever one you want. We're going to work right here on SharePoint. Notice the logos, right? OneDrive, SharePoint. Okay, you just want to pick your site address. It's pretty easy, in the folder path that you just created in this example file sample. And this is the trick right here. So we want to name this file right here using a concatenate expression. So let's go ahead and just focus in on that real quick. Again, this is all inside the instruction set, but you can see it right here if you want to pause and just copy this down. So what we're doing here is we're just saying, give me the date, okay, and put it together to the PNG. And that's why when you see the files here, see you got the date, time, .png. We could put a different value around there to save it any way that we want, but this just seemed to always give us a unique file name, right? Even if you're doing multiple files, as you can see here, in the same day, because you have the time mark in there, it's giving them all different. So you can do this any way you want. This is just the way that I've done it here, and that others have done it. Here we have this binary here, and now what this is doing is, if you see here, we're taking the binary, which is right here, okay? So we have the JSON here, that this is the code that basically is this image, and we're converting it. It's not as important that you understand that completely, but here we're just creating that file, again, file content right there, and we're just creating that file. So I'm going to show you this whole line of code here in just a moment. That's all you have to do right here. This line of code, let's go ahead and look at that, is right here. So the expression starts right here. This is it right there. So just go ahead and pause the video and copy that down into your flow, and that will work. And this is the code right here for the expression for the concatenate. Again, you could use a JPEG or a PNG file, it doesn't really matter. So those are the two flows, and you can see them right there. The second one, if you're doing a OneDrive file, that's pretty easy as well. It's the same thing. So you could use the exact same for the file name and for the file content. The only difference is that you just point to the folder path. And again, you need to create that folder so that those files can go in there. And that's as simple as that is. So you can literally just kind of hold down your shift key, hit home. You can copy, you can do, there's lots of ways just to copy this data down and make it into this. And this was create file again, and I just picked the one with the OneDrive logo. So that's all we really need to do here from a flow perspective. The next thing we need to do really is inside of PowerApps itself. And so let's walk through that, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. So the first thing you want to do is insert that pen input. And that literally, you click on insert input pen input, and that's going to create this drawing space that we see here. And then we're going to create this save button. And on the on select of the save button, we're going to enter in this code right there. Okay. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, so I'm going to show this to you right now. So here, the pen control's easy, right? It says insert input pen input, right? Okay, that's it, right? Not a big deal. That's how you do that, and you can build it to any size you want it. But this one's a little trickier. When we do a file, let's just create another button here, just to show that. Whoops, just to show that button here. All right, let's go ahead and click on that button there. And now here, it's asking us to put in this code. If you put in the code, let me show you what it looks like right now. So that's what the save button looks like when you format it. That's what it looks like. This is the variable right here. Okay, do you see that? Okay, so we're setting it. We're adding the image. We're doing the JSON formatting with the data. And we're running these commands here. And then right here, see here, semicolon. This is the flow that we just created, .run. And then we're going to add in that variable one more time. Okay, so here's the trick. Before you enter in all that data, you want to first go out and link to that flow. So you click on the button there, on select, okay? And then we're going to go to PowerAutomate. And here it's going to say, well, which one would you like to use inside of PowerAutomate? So you can create a new flow, or you can add to, any one that you want. This is one that I want to use right here. So I'm just going to click on it, and notice how it says adding. Okay, once it adds, there it is right there. Now you notice that that is the same as right here. See where we're at? We're here. Semicolon, draw. That's all that right there. Run, right there. And then we would type in the variable var and then the JSON pen input, okay? And then hit go. So, but we have to so we got that in, great. Now go back and put in all this other data. And I'm not gonna do that right now. Let me see here. It'll be just like this. So we just run, oops, all the way to that semicolon. All right, we'll copy that. We'll go back to that button for the on select of that button. Let's pull that bad boy down. Okay, and then we just paste that thing in there, just like so. Okay, and then we can clean it up. I need to put a semicolon back there and kind of maybe format it. Okay, so that's essentially what it will look like right when you're done. So it's literally that easy. Now I know you're not copying and pasting, so you're gonna have to pause the video and copy it from here, or pause the video and copy it from here. But just remember, this last line is that action where you're linking to that flow that you've already created. That's it. There's not much else to do on this. You can follow the instructions. Let's go down here. This right here is just the variable. I'm just showing it so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so I put optional. Save the file to OneDrive, set up the folder. I kind of go to PowerAutomate, kind of do all these things, and then this one is Sharepoint. And I show you the expressions and the file names, and that's about it. Once you get done, all those files will store inside right here, and you'll be able to view them in a multitude of ways.